If you listen closely in West Virginia, you can hear a tradition calling. Square dancing isn't quite as old as the West Virginia hills, but it does have a long history in the state. And the callers are the ones in charge. They call out the moves, and the dancers in turn follow instructions. You wouldn't know what to look at or listen to him, but Lou Mayuri is 89 years old.
I've been around this kind of entertainment all my life, and it kind of stuck with me, and I just had a real love for it.
Lou is one of a number of West Virginia's best and most well-known callers who are all, well, let's say seasoned at what they do. Square dancing has been part of Max Sample's life since the 1950s.
I think it's born in some people, and I think it's born in me.
Now back to the left on fine, thank you.
And Bill O.C. first called a dance some 40 years ago.
When I tried it, the first time I ever tried it, I thought, man, you know, I like this.
Alabama lip bear when you come down with a grand right lip bear all the way around.
That's not to say there aren't younger callers.
Picking them up, putting them down, making old Bigfoot go over the ground.
Square dancing is enjoying a resurgence in the state. Everyone recognizes the need for younger people to keep it going.
Promenade 2 by 2, yeah, right back home like you always do.
You got to pay it forward or pass it on.
Into the center with a big hoop and a yell. Let's hear you, Glenville.
It's refreshing to see young musicians and young callers picking this up.
Still, there's something about the voice of experience. The crowd turning on his every word.
Mountain style square dance calling is it's kind of a freestyle call. It's a hoedown. You see, you have a lot of freedom with the figures you do and the calling.
I like to look out there and see everybody having a good time and smiling. If you got a good set of square dancers, all of them are doing something, but they're doing something different with their feet. There's no pattern to it.
Square dancing gets its name from the 4 couples, 8 people who arrange themselves on the 4 sides of a square. But at some point in the dance, everyone in the square will interact with everyone else. The dancing goes hand in hand with the fun. And it's the fun that's attracting a new generation.
It's not really hard. It's like you can be silly and there's space within the tradition, and has been for years, to be silly and to connect with everybody.
The instructions or calls are memorized to a degree, but also a certain amount of ad-libbing goes on.
Now here's where it gets a little tricky.
The callers call that patter.
It's all things that I have in memory.
All right, that was easy, bud.
But how I put them together is always different when I get up there on the stage.
And I have a good memory for that. I'll never forget a square dance call. Now, a lot of the pattern that I use in the calls, I make up myself. And some of it I've used in the past, and some of it is impromptu, but it's stuff that I've used, you know.
Anything that rhymes.
And what would a good square dance be without a live band? Picking old-time music in step with the dancers and in tune with the callers.
If I got a good hot band, if I got a lot of good dancers, if I can get in groove with the band, then I have a good time.
I like music, you know. I like mountain music. So the beat that these guys play, easy for me to call to, you know.
The music kind of gets in your soul and your blood, and you kind of just enjoy it, I think. Not loud, it's not abrasive, it's kind of just fun to be a part of it.
Once the band gets going and the calling is happening, it's just really fun to see people out there laughing and having a good time. Like maybe they're not doing it exactly right, like storybook right, but they're doing it and they're like having a lot of fun.
Now, here's where it goes. Couple number 1, you lead out to couple number 2.
To help those beginners, sometimes the callers will workshop a dance. That means they will walk the dancers slowly through the moves, getting them up to speed gradually.
Go back where you were and start over again.
And the steps range from the simple to the complex, depending on the knowledge and skill level.
A lot of times you do get beginners out there with more experienced dancers, but that's okay.
Going the wrong way.
You teach people. You're really easy, you know? And that's the thing that's fun about square dancing is it's just teaching people to circle left or right or demoing something pretty quickly for them and they can catch on to it. It's not incredibly advanced. It's all about sort of the fun and the vibe, what you're able to create all together.
But there is a dizzying number of swing your partners.
Time for the oysters.
And the dances have colorful names too, with most of them based on some action. Chase the rabbit, mow the wheat,
Dive, dive, dive.
or like this one, where they dive for the oyster.
That's all there is. There ain't no more. How about a hand for the low backgrounders?
Over the summer months, we visited 3 of the dozens of available square dances in the state. Under a tent, under the lights, under the stars. 1 at the state capitol, 1 in a small town, 1 far out in the country. The crowds ranged from the dozens to the hundreds, but the dances shared one thing in common: an atmosphere of togetherness, of community, of family.
It's neat in today's world to do something where you're moving and dancing and just really everybody laughing and having a good time. In today's world, that's not a common sight all the time.
The thing, if you go to any of these small communities throughout the state, you'll see, you know, a 10-year-old dancing with an 80-year-old. And I feel like in life right now, in current society, there isn't places for that to happen.
An atmosphere perhaps best illustrated by that simple yet beautiful square dance called All Join Hands. Another West Virginia tradition. I'm Dan Hollis.